think that helps because it's kind of like when you're an adult and you're setting, your 5-year, 10-year plans, like that's a long time away. I mean, it really isn't, but it is. And then, like if you have little steps along the way, little rewards, it just keeps you motivated. So that would be kind of a cool thing, I think, to incorporate with pretty much anything that you would do for a goal for the year or a goal indefinitely. Like I said, like our goals we have to remind ourselves. I think that's one thing we do. Like at the new year, we kind of remind ourselves of what it is that we want to keep at or we want to start trying to do as a family.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the new year is a good reminder for a lot of people. And then just continuing to like work towards whatever goal you're working on if you didn't quite meet it that year or you're this close or whatever.
Hi everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of She's Got It Together. I'm your host, Jessica.
And I'm Samantha. Each week we peel back the curtain on what it really looks like to have it together.
From the messy moments to the milestones, we're here to share it all.
So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive into today's topic.
Let's talk New Year's resolutions. So I want to know, how do you feel about New Year's resolutions?
New Year's resolutions. I feel like I've never been big on New Year's resolutions. I think even like as a family growing up, like we never really did like go around the table, say your New Year's resolution. I think it's great to have like a goal or something that you want to improve on. But I mean, gosh, I feel like if someone asked me, like, what's your New Year's resolution? I feel like half the time it was always the classic, oh, I'd like to get in better shape, or I'd like to lose weight. I want to be healthier. And, you might
like
start
the cliche
out
answers,
right? Exactly. I feel like that's literally it. And I almost feel like almost everybody, like, says that in some way. But it's like, I might work out more like that first month or two. For the first month or two, do, and then you just like forget about it and you're like, oh, too bad, maybe next year. It's just like it's setting yourself up for failure. Like we talked about this. Like it's just like it's great to have a goal. It's great to have something that you're working towards. Like, I would like to be healthier all around. I feel like I'm a fairly healthy person, but I feel, sometimes like we don't, always eat the best, which I feel like you can never 100% of the time. But I mean, now having Bo, I feel like, and we are, getting older. I feel like I just want to be more mindful, I guess, of like, the food I'm eating, what I'm doing. I want to make sure I'm more active and all that kind of stuff. Like just make it more of a priority each day, not just to like, oh, I feel like, I'll work out today. Like have it more as like a lifestyle change, just more intentional. And that takes time. And I feel like I don't want to get upset with myself because, I didn't do as well this month. I didn't, meet my resolution, like I feel like it's something that is just going to take time. Well, so I feel like that's a resolution, just kind of how I feel.
It feels like it's not a requirement. It's not, I don't know, like it's just just something you do. You just like create one, you just go with it, but it doesn't, there's like not anything that is holding you to it. It's not the accountability, which I think is the whole point. And New Year's resolution is supposed to help you have more accountability. I feel like it does the opposite. I feel like, it's like, you're going to fail. So don't worry about it. Like it's,
right, because so many years have passed where you haven't achieved your resolution. It's almost just something that you say because somebody asked you, like if you're at a party or like it's just I think what you're supposed to do. We were with Brett's family one year and we had like a nice dinner on New Year's Eve and we're like, okay, let's go around and say like our resolutions. And I'm like, what? Like I almost got like shell shocked. I'm like, I don't have one. Like I want to be healthier next year, lose some weight. Like it's just like I'm like, I know I'm not gonna like if people, I mean, I would love to kind of like people that actually do these like and follow through with them and like maybe have like some sort of effective like accountability system or like take these resolutions like super seriously. Like I haven't personally met anybody that has done but I know there are people out there that do it, or just use the new year as like a reset button, or like, I want to accomplish this year in my business or something like that. Like, that's great. I wouldn't necessarily call it a New Year's resolution, but I feel like it's like a goal you have for the year that you want to meet.
Yes, exactly. A goal, I think. And not,
and maybe that's all a resolution is, but
yeah. I mean, but you have to, the New Year's resolution is starting at, in January. Like, you have to start it then. It's not like you can, it's not like you can start something throughout the year. And that, I feel like, also causes a bit of, I don't know, it's just like a mind game. Like, okay, so I fell off the wagon for this, so now I have to wait all the way till next year to start a new one. No.
Or you just get so far off track that you're just like, okay, well, I just gotta fully give up, and if you just kind of have like, okay, like, I missed working out this week, but I'll do it next week, and not have so much like pressure. I think it's something that you internally really have to like to change, or like believe in, and that it's just something that you're gonna do. It doesn't have to be your New Year's resolution. It could be what you want to accomplish that year. But like, you really truly have to be like personally motivated in order to do it. And it's okay if you like mess up, or if you don't follow through one week, or like you fall off the wagon. Yeah, you just have to like know that it's important enough to you to keep going and start again.
I would agree with all of that as far as a New Year's resolution. Like, I just don't like to do them because like I said, I feel like you set yourself up for failure, and you can choose when you want to do or create these goals anytime during the year. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of the year. And I don't know, in my mind, I feel like because of like the stigma with the New Year's resolution, it's just going to give you that out and not push through, when you do have some trouble, and to jump back on. This is what it does to me, at least. I just, even if it's February, when I decide, okay, here are my goals, like, that's what I do, like goals for the year, not a New Year's resolution. I guess it's the same thing basically, but in my mind, or the wording, it just feels different. So
I feel like New Year's resolutions,
you like, okay,
don't have to stick to. Like, it's an easy thing to throw away.
No, it's expected not to stick to.
Right.
Like,
it's almost like, it is. It's almost expected. It's like, oh yeah, I know that lasted 2 weeks, Yeah.
I did it. Yeah.
How's your resolution going?
Whatever, a couple months. Yeah.
But then it's like, how would you, like, what would be like some effective ways to like keep, yourself, or if you have like a family goal or a family resolution, like, what keeps you like motivated, or your family motivated to like reach those goals?
I think the goals that we create as a family are different than, it's not like your health. It's more like, okay, we need to be more intentional about spending family time together. Let's try to limit the electronics, which that was last year, and we totally fell off the bandwagon on that. I will fully take responsibility for that, because it's just like, it's easier to let them be quiet and do what they need to do while you're doing what you need to do. And it's just, by the end of the year, it's like we're exhausted. We just don't want to keep it up. But so with ours was it wasn't a New Year's resolution. It was a goal, but it was a goal that was going to be like a continuous, like years and years. Like, we just need to be more intentional about not being on the electronics so often, or not, like, we'll sit down and watch a movie as a family. Well, Taylor will have her tablet with her. So she's like got one ear with that, the headphone on and the other off. But she's like watching TV a little bit. She's doing, whatever she's doing on her tablet. And it's just, you're not there. Like, we're just trying to be more present.
I feel like I talked to Brett about that too, because we'll be like watching TV together, and it's like he's on his phone. And I'm like, and this is like after Bo goes to bed or something. And this was even before Bo was born. But it's just like, we'd put on a show, or we'd pick a show, and like half the time I'm like, well, pick one that you want to watch, because like I know like he'd go on his phone, and I want to like talk about the show or like laugh together or whatever. I just was like, you're not even paying attention. What? And then I'm watching like 3 episodes of this show that he wanted to watch and I don't care about, and he's on his phone. So I'm like, I think that's something like that's a really good like family resolution or a family goal is to just be more intentional with like your time together and limit the electronics, because you don't even know like you're doing it half the time. You know, like you're just like scrolling through your phone.
Second nature.
And it's kind of scary because we never had that growing up. Like you watch TV as a family, and if you went
you watch
on the
videos
computer,
as a family.
Right, yeah. It was like if you wanted to get on the computer, you were in like the other room. You had to use the dial-up AOL. Everybody knows that you're on the computer. We had like
it's like
set time
makes the noise.
Be on. Yeah. It was just so different than it is now. So much less accessible.
Yeah. And I guess, so DJ will do the same thing, just like Brett. He'll do that. And it's like, are you watching TV? Can I change it? Or, you know, he's like, yeah, I'm watching it, but he's on his phone. But I guess I don't know. It's just so weird because he picks it up and I don't even think he realizes, like you said, you don't realize you're doing it. It's just like, if it's there, because your phone's everywhere. I mean, we don't have a house phone. We only have our cell phone. So, of course, they're within, you know, an arm's reach or whatever. But what are you really absorbing between either one? Yeah. You know, are you just scrolling aimlessly and there's nothing?
Right. And the family time is kind of put by the wayside because you're not engaged in what's on TV or the movie and talking about it or laughing about it or something. Like, you're just there together, which I guess is a step.
Yep.
But you almost want to just be more present. And I feel like maybe there needs to be like, okay, you put your phone in the basket, or you don't have to turn it off, I guess, because like there are reasons why you need to have your phone nearby. But like, just put it somewhere in a different room where you could hear it or something. Like, just make a very mindful decision to be like, okay, Taylor, you can't have your tablet during movie time. This is family time. And then you lead by example by not having your phone out. Because if she sees you or DJ on it, she's like, well, why can't I have my tablet? It's like, you got to lead by example.
Exactly.
And, like, that's kind of
and
where
that's
it
hard.
starts,
you know,
with the parents. Yeah.
I know. It is. It's so true. That is really hard, but it's so true because, I mean, what's the point of sitting out there as a family if you're not paying attention to each other? You know, it's just, it's so weird. And we'll, you know, so another thing like that we've done in the past, and I think we'll probably do it again this, you know, continue it, I guess, is just trying to take more trips together or more, not even trips, but just go places to get outings. Yes. Because one of the things like I'm really bad at is like, okay, like even if it's just going to visit like the in-laws or something, oh my God, it's time that I can have for quiet and I can get some work done. So I'll stay home and they'll all go. And it's just, I really need to stop doing that. And I know like that's, you know, the same thing with going on trips. Like Hayden will stay home because she doesn't really feel like doing whatever it is that we're doing. And that's completely missing the point here. Like we're trying to be more intentional with our time and doing things as a family. I mean, going to look at Christmas lights or, you know, just because she's getting older doesn't mean she doesn't need to go. It's just like.
Right. And I feel like any teenager is going to resist anything like that, but then they secretly enjoy it while they're doing it. Exactly. I remember this.
Exactly.
Because I remember, I think we were like 13 or 14 and mom and dad, we were like at home like one like Saturday morning or something. And I remember mom and dad came into our room and they're like, pack a bag, like, let's go. We're going somewhere. And Sid and I were like, ugh, where are we going? Like, that's so exciting. Like that they are surprising us with this random trip somewhere. And Sid and I remember at that age, we're just like, ugh, are you kidding me? I just wanted to like lay in bed all day and like do nothing and like hang out with my friends or something. And I remember being like so grumpy about it. Like, what a little brat. And then we're driving and we don't know where we're going. And then we ended up like going to like the Canadian, like the border. And we're like, where are we going? And then we had to like do the money exchange. We were going to Niagara Falls. And which is pretty darn cool. And
that was a pretty cool trip. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we were still like little brats at the beginning of this trip. Because we're just like, oh, cool, like Niagara Falls, you know? But it turned out to be an awesome trip. Like, we got over our, like, teenage moment, and we had a lot of fun. And I remember, like, mom and dad went to dinner one night without us, and we got pizza and watched the movie in the hotel, and it was awesome. And I was just like, it had to start out though with the resistance, you know?
Yes.
It's just the age, it's everything. But it's like in hindsight, I think about that trip all the time. It was fun. Like we were spending time together as a family. It was good, but it started off a little rocky, but it turned out great.
Oh my gosh, the things that we do as kids.
I know.
Okay, so what tips do you have to keep the family engaged with these non-New Year's resolutions, like goals?
Sure. So these non-resolution goal setting things, I feel like for kids, and I mean, I guess it depends on their age too, but I think with kids, to make like this goal setting process fun or engaging, like you have to do it as an activity of some sort and like together. Like you can't just be like, okay, hey fam, this is our goal for the year, stick to it. Like that's not gonna do anything. Like you have to kind of talk as a family and figure out what you want your goal or your resolution to be, whether it be like a family goal or an individual goal that they set. I think like that can be up to them or you or your family, however you want to do it. But making it like as a game or some kind of activity where maybe they share or write down or draw a picture of like what they, want to succeed in that year or something. And then maybe like hang it on the fridge or like have it visible to them so that you can kind of check in on it. Or if you do like family meetings or a family game night, you can use that as like a moment to just check in and see like how that goal is going for you as a family. Or you can ask your kids like, oh yeah, or your goal was to, like learn the alphabet or something this year, or be able to write your name or something, and then maybe engage in activities with them that can help them meet that goal,
Yeah. And I mean, even a habit tracker might be kind of a cool piece to incorporate into this.
Yeah, something visual for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, they get a sticker every day that they do it, or they can see it like if there's goals throughout it. Like I like to have small goals within that big goal. So like, you've done, you've gotten 2 weeks done of not missing, you're going to get some small prize that kind of goes along with whatever this big goal is. I think that helps because it's kind of like when you're an adult and you're setting, your 5-year, 10-year plans, like that's a long time away. I mean, it really isn't, but it is. And then, like if you have little steps along the way, little rewards, it just keeps you motivated. So that would be kind of a cool thing, I think, to incorporate with pretty much anything that you would do for a goal for the year or a goal indefinitely. Like I said, like our goals we have to remind ourselves. I think that's one thing we do. Like at the new year, we kind of remind ourselves of what it is that we want to keep at or we want to start trying to do as a family.
Yeah, I think the new year is a good reminder for a lot of people, and then just continuing to like work towards whatever goal you're working on. If you didn't quite meet it that year or you're this close or whatever, I think it is a good reminder.
It's a natural just, like, check-in.
Like take a step back, and like think about like how things are going. Like what would you want to change or improve or what's going well. So I think that is one benefit to the whole New Year's resolution topic is it's just a good reminder and like check in on yourself or your family or whoever.
Yeah. Do you have any goals for yourself this year or this coming year?
Well, I think being
I can think of one for you.
What?
I think one of your goals, well, no, I don't think that. I think one of your goals is to continue to, to save and add into your house fund. It's just like constantly growing that. Like,
yes, that's always a goal.
Well, that's what I mean. It's a continuing goal. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be just a year's time or,
because Brett and I don't have like a set time on when we'd like to get in a house at this point because like the house we're renting right now is great. But the interest rates and all this stuff is just crazy right now. So I think that honestly is like my goal because this last year I have not been content. We were just wanting to find a house, build a house, like something. And we just were not content with where we are. So I think this year, I just want to be content with where we are, what we're doing. Like, we are very lucky to have like a roof over our head. We are very lucky that like, you know, we both have jobs, like we have a healthy baby, like everything is fine. I just want to be content with where we are. And then I think things will like start taking a turn once we're just content. Because like right now, like we have a lot of options. We could, if we find a house we like, great. If we don't and we want to wait a little longer and save some more, like maybe we'll just build a house, which I think is ultimately what we want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this year I just want to be content.
Yeah,
what about
no,
you?
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. We started ours probably 3 or 4 months ago, though, like this whole being content bit, because where we're living, house is great, big, you know, we've got everything we need, but it's just not what we want. And it wasn't our choice to move here. So we've been fighting that for 5 years now. 5 years. And it's not getting any easier to move on to what we want to do, or, you know, whether it is building, because we've talked about that, or it's finding a house. Now the interest rates have gone through the roof. It's just silly.
Insane.
I mean, like what we're approved for is like 100,000 less now than it was.
Ridiculous.
And it's silly. It's like, I'm not going to pay the same or more in my payment just to cover the interest. So, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with this. We're on a busy road. I don't like the road. Like, we can't have a pool because we're in an association. It has to be an in-ground pool, and I'm not going to do that. So there's quirky things with it, but there really is nothing in here or nothing happening that should cause us to be so.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like you live in like a great neighborhood in a great house. It's just not what your plan was, or
it wasn't our choice. And it's like, I mean, we don't like to be told what to do.
You live in a great area, but it's like, you're not content because that's not what your plan was or what you wanted.
Right. We had
no reason,
totally different plans.
Why? I mean,
no real reason.
We're very lucky people, but at the same time, like, it's not exactly like where you expected to be at this point.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what my thing has been with being so like just not content, is like we didn't expect to be in this position at this age, because I don't know why age is such a thing. Like, you expect, or I don't know if it's like a generational thing, because everyone did things so much younger before. Like, Brett and I didn't get married till we were 30, and we had Bo and I was 32. You're the average now. 33. Like, I had Bo and I was 33. So it's like, or was that's normal. Gosh, now. I don't even know. I thought I was 30 for like 3 years, and I think I was 33.
I'm pretty sure you were 32.
I just turned 33.
You did. So you were 32 when you had Bo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was 32.
No, you see, he's over a year.
I don't. Oh, right. I didn't just have him. Okay. So yeah, I was 32 when I had him. Like, we've done things a lot later, and like we were, you know, we didn't get engaged till later. We were engaged for like 5 months and got married. So luckily that process didn't take so long. The getting you had engaged already planned beforehand. Yeah, but it's just like, you know, I feel like we thought by this age we would be a little bit more established. And I think a lot of people, especially like my generation, feel that way because it's honestly just, it's harder. Like, you have to have so much more money now to do basic things like get a house or, you know, build a house or anything, just because the interest rates are so high. And like, just, you know, people feel like salaries
the economy
are
at the moment.
What they are. The economy is terrible.
And
right. So I feel like with all of that, you just kind of are like, I thought I would have been a little bit further along in like our journey. But at the same time, like I said, I just want to be more content with where we are, because we are in a good spot. It could be much worse.
Definitely. All right. So we'll stop rambling. And I think it would be awesome if you all would share your goals for the next few years. And you can do that in the comments. But we will see you for our next episode in a week.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today on She's Got It Together. It's been a real journey sharing and laughing with you all.
We hope you're walking away with a smile on your face and a bit more confidence in your step.
Remember, you're not alone in this crazy ride called life. We're all in this together, one day at a time.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and of course, share this podcast with all the incredible women in your life.
Join us next week for more stories, more laughs, and more real talk.
Until then, keep embracing your unique journey and remember, you've got it together more than you think.